Hello and welcome to Adapted, episode 101. My name is Tristan. Joining me this week, we've got Chad and Sweener. What's up, guys?
What is going on, dudes? 101. We survived Big 100.
Dude, we survived the election apocalypse, dude. Life is good, man. Sun rises yet again.
For now.
This is the second election this year because, Cobblepot, baby.
Oh, yeah, dude. Double winners, man.
Cobblepot. All right. Dude,
Well, I know you guys want to talk Walking Dead right away, right?
Oh, dude. I was going to say,
right?
Let's fucking just, you got to start with Walking Dead. It's,
Falling back into their same old ways.
Oh.
I am curious to see what you guys have to hear about episode dedicated to Daryl. So let's hit it. Episode 3 of the 7th season, The Cell, as we get see what's been happening with Daryl after he's been taken by the Saviors and Negan. And one thing I did want to touch on with the music they played, I found it really hilarious that some of those songs all of a sudden got to the top of the charts in the real world. As people are like, let's download those songs because we heard them on The Walking Dead. But
dude, that's because they couldn't get it out of their heads. They wake up in the morning because these fucking dudes played it 1,000 times this episode. It was driving me nuts.
That Easy Street one was a very popular download.
Sweener, you want to sing it for us?
Yeah, it's like, how do you feel about your song is being used for torture, man? Your song is just being used to break Daryl down to his very core.
That's the only thing it's good for.
It was kind of odd way of torturing. I wouldn't think a song on repeat could break Daryl, but that crying song, I guess, broke him.
I don't get it.
It wasn't the crying song, it was the picture, dude.
Oh,
of fucking Glenn's beat-in head from Lucille, dude, in a Polaroid form. I had to pause it and rewind it and go back, dude. I don't know.
I have to give it to them. They tried, and there are some moving moments, but this episode, I could not take a moment more of that fucking song being played and him whimpering and crying. I get what they're trying to do and the power they're trying to put and make him feel, make you realize that he's being tortured, but you're fucking torturing me, dude, and I'm supposed to enjoy your show. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but dude, I think that by the 6th or 7th time, dude, I actually almost turned this thing off halfway because I was just so done with it that it wasn't going anywhere and that it was just him sobbing, and then he gets fucking potatoes and he doesn't want to eat them, and then he's nibbling on something, and then he's crying again, then a picture goes on the wall, and it's just oh my god, give it a rest, dude. I could go on about this episode, about the girl in the hallway fucking bitching and whining, telling him to go back, and he's just no.
Sherry. Well, yeah, that was Sherry.
She's from 3 seasons ago, right?
That was last season when Daryl first ran into Dwight and Sherry.
Yeah, they steal his motorcycle.
Right.
She's a kept woman. Looking clean. Looking clean.
And I think over the past 100 previous episodes, we've talked about the hit or miss of single character entire shows. And so right from the get-go, I was kind of oh man, Daryl. But then I kind of started thinking, was it really just about Daryl?
It was about really development of Dwight also.
Yeah, well, and I think about Negan too, man. It's his fascination, trying to be the sociopath he is, dude. And I just don't know what it is. It's about Negan, just he's trying to figure people out or whatnot. When he's all right, Daryl, it's over, and he swings Lucille at Daryl, and Daryl just doesn't even flinch. He's I like that, man. I really like that.
I mean, at the same time, Daryl gave up on living 3 seasons ago also. So
you remember that? That was an awful episode too, dude. Anytime Daryl goes through trauma, dude,
Dude, when they were in the barn and the barn was about to be blown down, is that what you're talking about?
A little bit past that.
When he was smoking the cigarette?
When he kind of went off on his own for a bit, and then he found him again, and he's just after Beth died. Yeah.
I mean, that was a traumatic moment in his life, man.
Yeah. And he still had everyone else in the group. I know he had that when Beth and him went off to that club, the golf club place, and had their moment. But I don't know. Daryl is, I know he's a fan favorite of a lot of people, but he's not a character I really get in touch with, and I'm totally behind all the time. It's Daryl. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's a weak character.
Is it because he's not part of the comics?
It's not because of that. I think they suffer from him not being in the comics because they don't know what to do with Daryl a lot of the time. They're just like, oh, let's have him be mopey in the background. They're doing something with him now where I mean, Chad doesn't like watching it.
Oh, dude, and I don't, I don't follow the comics.
But Chad
it's just...
hasn't liked The Walking Dead since
but he has liked some of these episodes recently.
Yeah, the last episode was like, and that's the thing is they go from last episode to this shit show, and it's just like, dude, stop fucking doing solo episodes. It's just a drain, dude. It's almost a wasted episode sometimes for me because they could have cut all this like stuff that they did into half an episode and still showed us what was going on in Ezekiel, or not in you know what I'm talking about, in like the
Kingdom.
Yeah, the Kingdom,
Alexandria.
Yeah,
all the places. Hilltop. And yeah, speaking of someone from the comic, Dwight, who, in my opinion, was a lot cooler in the comic, and they're taking some liberties, which they'll do when bringing him in the live action scenario. The background between Dwight and his former wife, now Sherry, is a little bit different from comic versus show. One thing that I was a little surprised that they didn't do that they did in the comic, which was interesting, was in the comics, Negan is a protector of women, and by this, he has many wives. He doesn't have one wife. He takes on many wives, and he's like, I'll protect you if you'll be my wife, and you'll do what I want, more or less.
But how is that like a protector of women, dude? That's just being like...
That's kind of why people follow him in the first place, all his saviors, because they've seen him and they've seen him in action, and more or less he does keep them safe. Kind of like how Rick had followers. This is a different scenario. It's a little bit more, well, I was going to say a little bit more violent, but Rick got a little violent as of late, so who knows which way to go. But I thought the comic side of things between Dwight and Sherry was a little bit more interesting, because they had to go back a little and explain, like, oh yeah, Dwight and Sherry left, and then they found Daryl in the show. That's their backstory here. In the comic, Dwight and Sherry are both living there. Sherry does go to Negan to more or less protect Dwight, and when Negan is away for a time being, Dwight and Sherry hook back up, and that's why Dwight gets punished with the steam iron and half his face is all melted, because that's punishment for sleeping with Negan's wife, which is Dwight's former wife. They get slow punishment, which was an interesting story in the comic. I know it's difficult sometimes to do exactly at that, which I'm not looking for, but I just thought it was more interesting in the comic.
They could have done it a completely different way. That story was fucking groan-inducing on how, like, I don't know, it just felt awkward to me that we're sitting there watching this as, like, and Dwight is just sitting there taking it, and, like, he's telling the story and explaining that I took, and just the way he delivered the story was poorly executed. I didn't like that scene either, man. And I thought that was supposed to be, it felt like a shitty way to catch us up on how Dwight got there. Like, it just didn't really have the impact I felt like they were going for, because it didn't, like, make Dwight look any tougher. It actually made Dwight look like a complete pussy. So it, like, took all, like, and he's saying, Dwight's my second in command. But you literally just made him look like the biggest pussy on Earth. And we've already known that he's kind of a pussy. So now it just made it even worse. Like, now it's, and I don't know what they were trying to do with it. Either make Negan look like he's a superstar or make Dwight look like he's a sissy. Either way, it didn't work out.
Well, they're also missing out on a little Dwight character development from the comics. His first introduction is going to Alexandria and killing Abraham at that time, actually.
They should have did that!
Comics. Instead, they took the Abraham death with the arrow through the eye and used that on Denise in the show, which wasn't very effective because
Poor
not many
choice.
people cared about her.
Exactly. Nobody. Poor choice.
And then Dwight leaves Alexandria after being held captive because Rick and company are like, well, we have to let him go because otherwise the worst punishment's going to come back to us because this is after Glenn got killed. So he gets released back, and they actually have someone follow Dwight back to the sanctuary. And that was kind of a little nod to the comic in the show where you saw a walker fall from the highway. That happened in the comic, and the walker fell from the highway because the guy was following him like accidentally spooked someone and they had to push him off the highway, and that's what happened in the comic. But that was just a little nod that they did because obviously no one's following him because he just came from the sanctuary. And going back, so yeah, the corralling of that.
I think they did a good. Thought they did a pretty good job with Dwight. Up before this episode, man, I was like, kill that dude. Kill him now. I hate him.
See, now you're feeling pity.
Horrible.
Now you're feeling pity. You're feeling pity for him.
I am feeling pity for him. I still want him dead, dude. But, man, guy caught a tough break, Negan took his woman. Well, actually, was it his sister? Died.
Sherry's sister, Tina, was going to marry Negan, apparently.
Yeah, but she died because they don't say how she died. I'm assuming.
No, that was from last season. She was the one with the insulin that needed insulin, and Daryl took it. She died in that garden or whatever. She fell in, and remember the walker got her. That was in a shallow grave.
Yeah. So, and then I thought they did a pretty good job of quickly running through the backstory. I will say that I think the one really weird part of it was when they were, when Dwight and his woman were in the hallway smoking a cigarette, and they're just kind of like, "What's up? Happy?" Yeah, that's the best thing. So now I feel kind of compassionate for Dwight. Dude, and I think Dwight is generally remorseful, dude. When he he put that dude out on the post, dude, and he's sitting there looking at him, man, you can feel he's like, dude, that guy was right. It shook Dwight to his core. He's like, man, there's nothing here. We gotta get the fuck out of Dodge, dude.
I don't want that.
Part of me is like, dude, they outnumber Negan 3 billion to 1. You got a gun, man. Why don't you just pop one in that cat's dome? But then you find out what they're blocking. Yeah. Dude, when they were on their own before Negan, they were just barely surviving, dude. Now under Negan, they're flourishing. So it's that kind of sick thing you've got to deal with in your stomach, right? Damn, dude, this guy's bad news bears, but without him, we ain't going to make it.
Yep. Negan's an important guy. He's a leader, just like Rick is. I might be looking at it a little bit more harsher because I know Dwight kind of elevates himself to be a really main character in the comics, and I don't really see the possibilities of him in the show really being that
a main bad guy in the comics or a main good guy.
I won't say which way he goes, but he's.
Well, I'm feeling like they're leaning him towards a good side. I feel like they're gonna have him fucking free Daryl, make it back,
and he's gonna rally with Rick,
dude. And that's what I don't want. We already got a shit ton of dudes, man. I don't need to add another fucking dude in there. Slay a couple, add a couple. That's how it needs to go from now on. Or slay more, add few. It's just too much shit because then we get these standalones, dude.
Yeah, we complained about it all last season. It kills us because we know we have all these characters. Why can't they just show most of the characters in one episode? I think we went through a series of episodes last season where they couldn't show the entire cast in one episode until maybe finale.
Yeah.
Like that.
It was
I don't understand why they do that. I'm guessing it's just to save money, so not every actor is appearing in episodes, and because I'm sure by season 7, some of these actors are probably making decent coin in their contract, I'm assuming. But yeah, it's kind of annoying story-wise. It feels like it slows things down a little.
Oh, dude, it's like a screeching halt.
All right, so scoring this week's episode of The Walking Dead. What are you guys gonna give it?
Oh, dude, I'll jump right out the gate. This sucker's a 2. From a comparison of where we were last episode to this, I felt like it completely fell off the rails. I didn't know where the show direction it was going. It goes from really gory and hard to really funny and happy it's lost in itself almost, where it's just like trying to show like how Daryl's beat down. Here's the other kicker, and I'm giving it a 2-4. Daryl's been there for a week, maybe. We don't really know. But they didn't show a single method of torture except him laying in a cell crying. Beaten, like it looks like he's been beaten up. We knew he got into one fight, but beyond that, it doesn't make it look like they're treacherous and mean to him, that he'd be crying his ass off. Instead of wasting 45 minutes giving me like having to listen to this fucking song, show me him getting tortured, like hanging up, getting beaten with a whip or something. Like it doesn't look like he's that bad off, dude. I could lay in a room and listen to some music for a fucking week. I'll be cool, man.
No, you couldn't do it.
I did, actually, so. And I was fine. And it was probably a little bit nicer than what he's got. But I don't know, man. It felt like they didn't show the torture like they could have to really make an impact. So a 2 on this episode for letting down this awesome Daryl potential, in my book.
I don't know, man. I disagree. I think that overall it was pretty good. I'm going with a 3. It made me feel some pity for Dwight. Homeboy just always catches the bad end of the deal, man. His sister's dead, or his sister-in-law is dead because he tried to escape. Guy lost his wife, took an iron to the face. Daryl's being tortured, listening to crappy music, eating dog food sandwiches, laying in his own puke, and then he gets a picture of Glenn's beaten head from Lucille, and that's all direct reactions to him. I mean, it could be better if they take it back to Alexandria. I think life will be a lot better, but yeah, it held me in there.
What was the cliffhanger? I can't remember. Was there one? Or it was just him laying in the cell?
I think that it just ended with him crying, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Like
okay.
walking away.
Is him as finally a broken man.
I'm at a 2. I'm just kind of over too much crying this season. I understand why they're crying.
I get it.
But
it's not done in a good way.
I was a little unimpressed with the Sanctuary. Like, I understand that they have walkers set up as kind of like guards somewhat, just like around their gates, but I thought it'd be a little bit more impressive. And with what the show has done in the past, they've done cool things, but I want to see like the whole fence line with walkers instead of just like one here, one there, one there. Like, they can win a little cooler, and it's also looking at kind of like what they do with Sanctuary there, and they could have done things slightly better. So I was really like between a 2 and a 3 because I hate it. I understand what they're doing with Dwight and Daryl, but I just thought it could be better. So we'll see where things go next week, because I think they are back in Alexandria next week.
Yeah, I think. Well, Negan, I think, comes to get his first shipment.
Ooh.
So we'll see how things.
I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited to see if they even made it back there carrying those fucking bodies.
It's a long ways, right?
That's a long haul, dude. Of tears, dude. Maybe we'll get some music and tears while they carry bodies for fucking 25 minutes.
All right, Gotham, episode 8, Blood Rush, and they're exploring more of this whole Penguin, Enigma, and the Kringle doppelganger stuff that's going on.
Kringle wannabe.
It's still a tough time. It's a tough sell for me on how this woman would be like, I'm gonna dress like the girl that you killed, and it's just getting a little too crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get why
she must be like mentally unstable if she's like really into this. Because I don't.
Yeah, like
maybe
she dressed
she
up as Miss Kringle. And how did she know what Miss Kringle actually looked like? That's the weird.
I think she said she did some research and she had like old newspapers or something like that because she was missing. I don't know.
All right.
Who? Yeah.
This overall was like just kind of a weird episode for me. Like weird, good and bad. I like Barnes like just being fucking Billy Badass, dude, and just rage killing a bunch of dudes.
It is.
The whole Miss Kringle thing,
They're
Isabella.
playing it out a little bit too long. I think we talked about last week where it was already going too far. Now they're going another episode into it.
Yeah, and it's like
wrap it up, maybe.
yeah, and it's like Penguin goes there and tells her like it's over, and she's like, no. It's like, damn it, Penguin, fight for the man you love.
Exactly.
They were going in a cool direction with this Penguin Enigma stuff, and once they introduced this Kringle doppelganger, it was okay for a little bit, but then it just got too weird and impossible to.
Well, I mean, it's got to be over because fucking Penguin cuts the brake line, dude.
Classic move, dude. I loved it. Just so fucking classic.
Cliffhanger goes like, you just hear a scream and then it goes blank.
Yeah, well, knowing this show, yeah, she's a female
if
half
Fish Mooney can survive like a stab in the gut and her eye being taken out
and Val
being dead,
getting shot in the gut.
Yeah,
her too.
We can expect, unfortunately, she's going to survive. I was hoping that it would take like 2 episodes and we would have found out that she's like a robot programmed by somebody, or she's like, you know,
I'm still hoping
weird
that that's going to happen, that someone is behind this, but
if it doesn't happen next episode, it's gone too long then. At that point, dude, fucking Penguin needs to, hate to say it, slit her throat. Or
like
make her...
and this whole Gordon Lee thing is getting kind of played out, you know? Like, if you're Lee's fiance, dude, you're not taking this shit much longer, dude.
You would think so.
Funny. I had some questions about Carmine Falcone as they were doing this party thing. I was like, so he just comes back to like his old town that he used to run as more or less a mobster. Like, how does that work?
He's in retirement, dude.
And yeah, the whole retire. Do they really retire? I feel like that's like you retire when you die, more or less. I don't know how you can really retire from that, but he did. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was possible too either, man. But Barnes going buck wild. Is this weird to you guys that he's like getting so aggressive, or do you think it's just like?
Dude, it's awesome.
That's all.
It's cool, I mean, but remember back in the day. Baby Barnes coming in there and laying down the smack on, like, right when fucking Gordon was getting kind of cool and, like, getting a little edgy, and then fucking Barnes comes in and shuts him down. It's like, follow the rules. And now look at Barnes, dude. Decapitating dudes.
It's going to turn into the thing.
He's sick of always following the rules, dude. The rules get you nowhere, man. You got to break down the establishment, dude. He's anti.
And it was interesting to see Gordon back on the job, I guess. It's been a while since.
But is he quit? Is he quit every fucking season or what?
Hopefully he's on for good now.
I think he got suspended one time, and then maybe it was fired another time when that ex-commissioner was fooling around with him. But we'll see how long this lasts.
Well, aren't you guys in agreement that you think like Barnes goes buck wild, Gordon has to kill him eventually, and then Gordon becomes commish? I think
something. I think.
Yeah,
I think Gordon's going to do something to Nigma, and that's going to make Penguin really happy because Penguin's.
Gordon is going to bust Barnes because that guy, that dude, was alive and told Gordon that it was Barnes who tossed his ass through a wall.
True.
Gordon's going to take Barnes down, dude,
and then Gordon's going to become Batman.
Is that a possibility? I mean,
what else is going to happen with this show?
Yeah, can we sit through another 12 seasons?
Looking at the longevity of it, like, what else can they explore? Like another love triangle with Gordon and Barbara, maybe, or something? Someone else? I don't know. That's all they do at this point.
Yeah, we don't get enough of the owl people or whatever they are. The hidden.
I'm assuming they're going to save that for like the second half after their classic midwinter break and everything.
I hate the midwinter breaks.
Winter is coming.
Seriously, dude.
All right, let's score this episode of Gotham Blood Rush. What do you guys have?
A 3. Just a hum-ho episode for me. Nothing too wild. Cool to see Barnes kind of transforming a little bit. Like he's starting to turn into something. I don't know what he's going to turn into eventually, but like it's going to the switch is flipping soon. And he's going to turn into the thing, dude. The thing that he never wants to. And he's probably going to commit suicide. So Gordon won't even have to hurt him. even though Gordon's going to be on his case. But I'll give it a 3. Right. It was a all right episode. You know, hopefully we wrapped up something that we all want to end, and she's dead by the Penguins' hands, but we all know that they like to drag shit out for a while, so we still got 15 episodes. A 3 out of me this week on Gotham.
Yeah, I'm at a 3 too. It held my interest. There were some interesting things. I really like Barnes, and then we've got Gordon coming back. The whole Gordon Lee love triangle, Penguin, Enigma, and Miss Kringle wannabe thing is weak and played out. But I don't know, man. I like where Barnes is going. I like that he's just got the rage, dude. He's going to take matters into his own hand. Could be interesting.
Rage Against the Machine. I'm going with a 3 as well. While watching this episode, I was like, I think this is Gotham. Like, it's somewhat interesting to a certain level. They still like do weird, cheesy things all the time. But yeah, it's watchable, I guess. I just don't know where they're going to go eventually.
You can't look too far ahead, man. Because it's going to make you sad.
But yeah, we'll see where else they go. Hopefully something cool is going to happen. Maybe the Court of Owls is going to turn into something really amazing.
Yeah, when you think about it, dude, we're not even at the mid-season, and we don't really have a full-fledged villain that we're kind of looking forward to. You know, you got the mysterious group. But then,
this first half of the season is supposed to be, since it's called Mad City or whatever, it's supposed to be all about Mad Hatter, and that's what it's been. And when Mad Hatter is actually truly involved, we've had some good episodes with Mad Hatter.
He's done forever now, though, huh?
But yeah, he's
locked up.
He's out.
Goodbye, Mad Hatter.
All right, on to Supergirl. We're on episode 5, Crossfire. Kind of a weird episode. There's some real low moments.
Weird episode? The first 5 minutes was awful, dude. I feel like all these shows started off really weak for me this week. But come on. Put him in the bow tie and the hipster outfit. That was just fucking killing.
I didn't like anything they did with Monel in this.
Bringing the coffee and all that stuff.
You laughed, didn't you, Sweeter?
It was just horrible.
Yeah.
Him checking up with
so dumb. He's like, "Oh," to Jimmy Olsen, "I ran out of the bribe juice or whatever."
Bribe coffee. It felt like I was watching like one of those Sunday morning fucking I hate to even go back to last week, but it's just like last week, like I was talking about, man. Like just a teeny bopper show sometimes, with just really no elevation.
I mean, there were some good elements of the show that we'll talk about soon, but yeah, Monel was just terrible.
Good job. And he's a funny jokester.
And a stud, apparently. The
there
secretary.
were some funny moments when he shacked up with Tessmacher in the copier room. And
yeah, he's
Kara
just slamming ass copier room.
It's kind of funny, especially Kara's reactions.
I like how he doesn't know anything about the world, but he knows how to use his wiener. You think he has a wiener on the other planet?
I would assume
I can get used to this.
It just sprouted. Okay, sorry.
Food for thought there.
Off the rail.
And then the James Olsen stuff, becoming a vigilante.
It's horrible, dude.
It's pretty weak.
It's absolutely mind-numbingly horrific, dude. Please die, James. Die.
Oh, Jimmy.
Alright. So it's like, old Jimmy Olsen just happens to get a little bit of intel. These guys are coming with super guns. Homeboy comes with, what did he come with? Fucking tennis racket, or what did he come with?
I forget.
Or a baseball bat, or
yeah, I think he had a bat, maybe.
Yeah, and he's gonna take these guys on. All right, whatever, dude. And then he gets his ass kicked, and it's like, dude, you're the leader. You're like the unqualified leader of this big company, dude. And you're upset because your fucking grandpa's camera got broken because you suck at fighting and got your ass kicked. Your grandpa should be upset with you, dude.
Be more protective of the camera, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weaker part. They're gonna, I guess it's something for Olsen and Finn to do, I suppose. Team them up, and Jimmy Olsen will become the Guardian at one point, and we'll see where that goes. I don't think it's going to be great, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, this whole fucking thing with Alex, dude, and am I lesbian? Am I not a lesbian, dude?
That was probably one of the better storylines in the show.
What?
Because we knew that she's like into her, and her like officially coming out to her is kind of significant in this day and age.
Why? People come out all the time in every show, dude. Why do we need to have more of it all the time?
Well, we haven't had that in this universe of things where we have a gay character in front and center, stepsister to Kara, Supergirl. So it's kind of significant.
I don't know. I think it's just like low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably one of the more interesting love scenarios on some of these shows.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than Miss Kringle and Enigma.
Fake Kringle, please, if you will. Not the
Kringle
real Kringle.
Yeah, it was a pretty weak episode this week, as those guys that got hired with the guns by what we learned out, the big bum was that it was Lena Luthor's mother that is head of Cadmus and everything, and she's being the ringleader of all these guys and taking out her guys after they get caught with instant kills via whatever that was.
Right.
Yeah, no idea.
And then, like, Luthor, like, planting the device underneath the stage. I was just like, oh, man. And it's like, Supergirl is just so bad at, like, fighting. Like, the thing that I had the most problem with is, like, when she's going straight I-beams to that guy's ray gun, there's two dudes, obviously in a pincing movement, coming in at her, but yet they're going to shoot at the beam of light versus just shooting Supergirl.
Shooting her in the knee. I thought the same thing, but I was like, you can't have
How stupid are these henchmen? And Supergirl is just like floating there like, did you think I wasn't going to be here? Like all of a sudden, all three guys wouldn't have just blasted her. And after they shoot her, she falls to the ground, man. Dude, you don't stop shooting until the clip is empty, dude. We all know that from video games, man.
Henchman for a reason.
Once a henchman, always a henchman.
Yeah.
Those guys were pretty awful villains this episode, too. It took me back to the early days of, like, these comic shows that we were watching, like, just when they were just really generic and almost pointless, man.
Definitely a weak episode for the most part. Only interesting thing really was Alex and Maggie Sawyer stuff, but let's close this episode out and go around and score it quick.
Ooh, man. I want to deliver it a 2. I feel like there was some good stuff, but overall, if you know humor, there wasn't much in this episode. The beginning was atrocious, a train wreck. I'm really confused at what they're doing with like my least favorite character on this show and trying to turn him into the Guardian. Like it almost feels like we're getting, you guys follow us on The Flash, it almost feels like, what's the kid that wants to be Flash?
Kid Flash?
No.
Wally?
Yeah, it feels like Wally.
Wally.
He feels like an older version of Wally, where he really wants to be a superhero and he wants to fight crime, but he just doesn't have it yet. Like, just stop acting like a fucking little baby, dude. It's gonna come. Relax. It's gonna happen. But second of all, I really just want you off the fucking show, dude. Your acting chops kill me, dude.
It's like a drag down on this show.
Oh, dude, it's a... but yeah, I got hope for the future of it, so, you know, we're gonna keep going with it, dude. Just a 2, man. It just really... Mon-El, dude. I was really hoping for something cool with that guy. I know I shouldn't, but I was kind of hoping for something cool, and that whole opening just fucking floored it, dude. Ground her little heel.
It's like they don't know what to do with him for a few episodes, because I'm assuming still that when he sent that transmission out when they first introduced him, that he's going to be bringing some aliens to Earth, and that's the big thing. But in the meantime, they don't have much to do with them.
Yeah, so a 2 from me. Supergirl, come on. Come on, Supergirl. Next week, I have a feeling it'll be good. Sweener, what do you got?
I'm giving this a 2 as well. This show was just really, really bad, man. I don't really know how to even deal with it. the whole Jimmy Olsen thing was bad. The henchmen were bad. Supergirl's inability to fight, and then just like the whole putting him in like the J. Crew catalog, him banging and all that stuff. Man,
I think you just want to keep saying banging.
Alex's like identity crisis. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is.
I'm at it too. Just from watching this episode, it was like you could tell it was a weak episode. And Mon-El and Jimmy Olsen were definitely the weakest parts of the episode by far. So hopefully they turn it around. But yeah, I don't think they can do much with Mon-El.
Yeah, he's either got to come full-blown superhero or just be gone.
And all he really has is super strength, so he's not that interesting as far as powers come.
Well, he can leap pretty far too.
I found it funny after when he took that like blast from one of the guns and his like chest was on fire.
Yeah.
How no one was like, "Hey, is that dude okay?"
The only thing that I thought was kind of funny was when Supergirl was like getting like 9 hors d'oeuvres.
She's hungry.
Girl got eat.
All right, let's get to a couple of our shows that we go through quickly. Legends of Tomorrow, Abominations, episode 4. We got some zombies. We get zombies on every show now, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it better than The Walking Dead? Is the question.
Did you watch this one, Chad?
I missed it.
It reminded me of Call of Duty Zombies, but like taking down a couple notches from Call of Duty Zombies. But that's the look of it, kind of.
Ah, that's not good.
It wasn't great. And
yeah, this was like a bad episode.
Wait, worse than them in samurai outfits?
No,
it was better than that one.
Bad episode compared to this. This is like, you know, it's just I don't need them to shove their political agenda down my throat, dude. Like,
what'd they feed you?
The world and everything we deal with is dealing with like race issues, dude. We are over it. We're sick of it. This whole thing of going back to slavery, having to watch the girl get whipped by her master and all that stuff. It was just old. It was tired. What I can't even remember his name. Who's the guy who goes in to try to infiltrate the other half of the fire team? Jackson. He's like, I'm gonna. We gotta stick to the script, man. We gotta do what we could do. We could alter history, and then like being there for 45 seconds, and he's like sitting there, like when he's like, he's like, we've got to change history, and we've got to do all this stuff. It was like, man.
Yeah, they always script history, so it's just to be expected. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It was bad.
And
the whole zombie. The only thing I thought was kind of funny was the whole zombie thing when what's his name turned into a zombie on the ship.
Yeah, I have no idea how he was able to get cured from that, but he was able to.
They made it into the inhalant.
Yeah, I still just couldn't buy it. Like, if I see someone turn zombie, like they're a zombie, they're dead more or less. Like they can't come back from that. And this show has done that multiple times, not just in Zombie. I remember Jackson turned into like one of those weird flying creatures last season, and they cured him. But
and also, what's he gonna do without his suit, man? I'm really interested.
Oh, Ray Palmer.
Yeah, old Ray.
And he gets Captain Cold's ice gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird that they're handing that off to him. Very strange.
Yeah, it's like, what are they gonna do about this?
I still feel like he should be able to build another suit.
Yeah, you would think he would. They're time traveling.
They're on a time ship. He can go anywhere in time. He can go way into the future and get really advanced parts for his suit.
Or why doesn't he just go back in time and just steal his old suit?
Well, I don't know how that would affect time, though. I don't know.
Right.
That'd be a weird loop or something. I don't know. Overall, I'm giving this episode a 2, though.
Yeah, I'm right there. It was a brutal episode.
So wait, I saw clips on it. The Flash was in this episode?
He's been in it just as a voice from the future that has this message recorded for Captain, what's his name?
Jackson and
Rip
I was
Hunter.
listening to it, but I think it was for Rip Hunter originally.
Okay.
yeah.
They're not supposed to be listening to the message, but they are.
Yeah, because he says under no circumstances let your crew know what.
Busted. So is there a crossover coming? I don't. The only thing that I know of a crossover is from that.
Crossover's coming for all 4 shows in a few weeks. Yep.
Right.
Wait, they all like. They're each gonna get a visitor, or are they just gonna have one big fucking?
Oh, the whole entire week, all 4 shows
just gonna
are
be-
crossed over with each other. Yeah.
Holy fuck!
We'll see how that goes. That's gonna be crazy.
That could be a train wreck, dude. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's coming.
Tough
And
show
then
for me
we
to get
got-
into. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then we got a new episode of Star Wars Rebels Imperial Super Commandos as we got a little visit back to Mandalore. We saw some Imperial
The Super
Imperial-
Commandos.
Yeah, pretty cool to see those guys flying around in fancy suits.
Yeah, dude, this was actually like another good episode, man, and probably again the best episode that we saw this week, man. 'Cause we had some pretty weak competition.
For what we saw, it was pretty good. More character based for Sabine. Got a little bit more of her backstory with her family, and her mom might still be around, as
Yeah.
teased by one of those guys. But she doesn't seem to fall for it.
Mandalorian.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool seeing some of this stuff. As who's the guy that was with Ezra and Sabine?
I know who you're talking about. I cannot think of his name. Oh God, she stole the jet. No,
Ben,
she
is it like Ben Rao or something?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Something like that.
yeah. Like he betrays him, then gets all of a sudden like a conscience and comes back for him. But my question was, why didn't Ezra just take his lightsaber back right away?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't totally buy like this Ben Rao guy seemed like he was really for himself, and then he kind of like went back and forth, and then he did have a
Right
change.
now he's gonna be part of the resistance.
Right.
Resistance. And help everybody out. But yeah, man, it was like a pretty cool little story. I liked dude, Chopper, dude, it's just so funny.
It's great.
Oh, dude. Dude, when he's like zipping around and everything, and Ezra's jumping off and fighting him.
Yeah, I'd give this week's episode a 4.
Yeah, dude, Sabine was really good. The Mandalorians were all really good. Then he found out, like, you know, if he had been there, he'd have just been dead.
So what was this episode about? Like they visited Mandalore and like had a coming from last episode. So I missed this episode, but coming from last episode, they escaped the generals, or like they had the big battle or whatever.
So Sabine and Ezra and Chopper have to take him
Ben Rao.
back. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because his village and his people are there, so he's going back there to see them or see what happened, because they find out that the village is no longer there. It was under attack. And then when he gets back, he finds out that it was completely destroyed. Everybody in his clan is dead. And then he finds out that there's a group of other Mandalorians who have switched over to join Thrawn and all that. And they're finding out from a probe droid that they've been detected. And these Mandalorians are the first people there who turn out to be his archenemy. The battle ensues.
No shit, dude.
Hijinks, fighting. He leaves Sabine and Ezra stranded with Chopper. Just when we think all is lost, he comes back. Sabine steals a dude's jetpack. A chase scene ensues.
Classic Sabine.
Yeah, just doing what she does.
Sweet, man. I'm gonna have to get back in.
One, Sweeter? Yeah.
No, I did. I said I'm at a 4 right along with you. That was a good episode.
4 Mandalorians?
Yeah, 4 Mandalorian. 4 choppers.
Mandalorian.
We're going 4 choppers.
Do you think we'll see any Mandalorians in Rogue One.
Dude, if
Coming
we
next
did,
month?
I don't know why you wouldn't, because Boba Fett was a pretty integral character, and obviously the Mandalorians are big in Rebels, so I don't know why you wouldn't.
It'd be pretty awesome if they do.
Is Boba
Yeah,
Fett going to be in the new Rogue One?
No, I'm just saying because Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he's really the only one besides Django that they explored in the movies.
Yeah, in the movie galaxy.
Gotcha.
So let's see if some of this goes over. News time, and a lot of exciting stuff to cover in the news. We got a Wonder Woman trailer. Doesn't look half bad. Kind of action-packed. I like the look of Wonder Woman's island home, Themyscira.
It's starting to look really cool, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I thought the scene where the fucking cliff diving off, you know, like in the Olympics, and they have that camera in a tube, and you go underwater, and you see like just like the coasting underwater. I thought that was really cool too, man.
Yeah, dude.
It seems like they're going a more comedy route as they've dropped. I saw some jokes in previous trailers, but they dropped more jokes in this one too. So we'll see how that plays off.
Everyone's a comedian these days.
I'm actually pretty excited about this. I'm gonna go see Doctor Strange this weekend.
Is this the one that is Wonder Woman? The one that flips the coin for DC and finally puts him on like the right track for future?
People are hoping for, yeah.
Yeah, they need to do something. Because I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot of, you know. And you're just hearing more and more things coming out of, you know, Batman in some trouble, like some differences of opinion and whatnot.
Yeah, that might be going through like rewrites and everything, and
yeah.
See what happens there. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens with Wonder Woman. I was curious why only Wonder Woman has an accent and none of her island Amazonians have an accent also. You would think they'd all have accents. I don't know.
That is a good question. I don't know, yeah.
True, but it's not a big deal. I don't know. Just curious.
Well, you would think that, yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, they should have the accent, and if anyone doesn't, it would probably be her, you know, because she's left or whatever, like, and I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Because you usually pick up an accent from other people that you grow up around, but who knows? Not
a huge deal. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with a live-action Wonder Woman movie all for herself, though. I always get thrown off when I see Captain Kirk in this. Like, is this a Star Trek crossover?
I know, dude. I the same thing, man. When I
Chris
see
Pine.
Yeah, I see Pine, and I'm like, huh? And it, like, and you know, the special effects are flying and lasers, and you're like, wait, what the hell am I watching right now?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's just another actor in it. Yeah. Okay. All right, we've got Deadpool 2 news as Tim Miller, the director, left. The composer from the first movie, Junkie XL, who's worked on a lot of different movies as of late. He was on Batman vs Superman as the composer as well. He's walking away from Deadpool 2 to show solidarity in the issues that Tim Miller had with
going on the bro code, dude.
Yeah, dude. Make it happen. I don't know.
I mean, the music in the first Deadpool was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but didn't you say he was in Batman vs Superman too?
Yeah, which
forgettable.
I mean, he's done a bunch of movies. He's a popular movie composer as of last year. He's had a lot of movies to score.
I feel like Deadpool is a movie you can kind of throw some weird fucking music in, so it should be easy to replace. But like when you think of like bigger movies and operatic, like where you want big like orchestras and stuff, like I don't think it's so much. I feel like they could probably just throw someone else in there, dude. What the hell is what's Skrillex up to? Get him on.
It's rumored that the director from John Wick is in talks to direct the sequel to
Deadpool. So that could be fucking awesome. I loved John Wick, dude. And the fight scenes were great. So, I mean, if that's coming together, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. I can get on board with that. Unless John Wick 2 shits the bed, then I might be a little sad. But
Yeah, but I don't know, man. John Wick was like I just randomly saw that movie.
same here. Same here. I just randomly saw it too.
Dude, that was really fucking pretty good, man.
I was
It took me a
hesitant.
while to see it. I didn't see it
Really great
right away.
movies.
Yeah, well, because
It was pretty
it
good.
says Keanu Reeves. No one sees that shit right away. You wait till it's in the red box or on VHS or something.
No HBO.
Or HBO.
More DC movie news for Justice League. We knew Steppenwolf was going to be the main villain for the movie, and he's been cast as, from Game of Thrones fame, Karen Hines, who played the King Beyond the Wall in Game of Thrones, is going to be Steppenwolf. So,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
a
excited.
good actor,
for him.
so we'll
Yeah,
see how
I
that
really
goes.
like him. I loved him in Rome, man. I thought he was really good. If anybody's seen it.
I'm still a little leery of Steppenwolf because no
He's not
one
a
knows
very
anything.
major bad guy.
No. And he's for the first Justice League movie that they're doing that everyone's looking forward to because this is the first movie with all these guys, Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all in the same movie. You gotta have a good villain. I know
Right. And we
comic book
like
movies, for some reason, lack good villains. I don't know why it happens, but they're saving Darkseid for later for some reason. I don't know why.
right. Well, it's
He's
like
got relations and stuff to
Yeah.
Darkseid.
Steppenwolf
It's like,
kind of looks like Blade mixed with Loki. Like
Yeah.
if Blade and
it
Loki
doesn't
had.
have like any really
stuff.
awesome superpowers. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Yeah.
got a pretty sweet saber sword thing.
He's a powerful guy in relation to Darkseid. So.
He's strong.
Yeah, he's strong.
Huh. I wonder why they chose
We'll see what
him.
they do with him. Yeah, it's a good actor. I like, or for the villain, you mean?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
that
For the
actor.
villain, I guess I missed that he was the villain until today, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm assuming it's just because his connection. I believe he's Darkseid's uncle, possibly, if my memory serves me right. He's family to Darkseid, so they're teasing the more Darkseid, and eventually they'll have Darkseid whenever. But movie reboot news: new Starship Troopers movie is coming, and this time it's based more on the book.
Which
I think we're all Starship Troopers fans of the very first one.
yeah, the first one. Then they went off and fucking made two other ones that nobody
Yeah.
fucking wanted to see or needed to see. So I'm super interested to see them go back to this book that I've never read or knew about.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a book, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book
I had-
is by what's his name?
I had heard about the book, and then I thought that it was like, when I had heard about it, I thought people were talking about like a screenplay book of the movie, you know, those shitty ones you can buy like at gas stations and stuff. It's like, oh, this is the book that's pretty much the script for the
Or
movie.
Island.
That's what I thought it was, but
Yeah, so we'll see. A lot of the characters are it's the same names, like Rico is same character name. So we'll see what happens and if another good Starship Troopers movie. Be awesome if they do.
yes, and I hope they keep it in that same like crazy style. But it's weird because they're gonna do a reboot on it, right, and follow the book. So I'm curious to see how different, because it felt like it was just crazy, like a crazy future, and you know, and kind of funny. And I don't know if the book is not meant to be that way, or
Just the style of the movie too was kind of what I loved also with
Yeah.
like their like TV shots of like
breaking
life on
news.
planet whatever. Yeah, it's cool how they did it. Like
Yeah, don't go away from that if they're doing it.
One of our more favorite shows of this year, Stranger Things. They have started production on season 2, and they also announced a few casting announcements this week, as Sean Astin from Goonies and Lord of the Rings fame is joining the cast, and Paul Reiser as well is apparently going to be like the bad guy on the show, like covering up the tracks of the science guys and everything. And then one of the actors that's in the Power Rangers movie, I forget their name, is also going to be in it. Yeah,
Dude,
pretty.
yeah.
It'll
Pretty,
be really interesting to see how it is, because, you know, It's
Tough
like,
follow, dude.
yeah, man. It was just, and to be honest, I just randomly stumbled on to Stranger Things. It was just like one of those things that kind of came up in my queue as like a new thing, and I just clicked on it, and I was like, yeah. And then I gave it a go, and I was like, yeah.
Can't stop.
The binge drug.
So I'm assuming then that this is a direct sequel to that season, right? If they're not doing anything weird like we originally thought. Yeah.
That it's still in the same town, and pretty much everyone's back from the first season. They had confirmed 11 is back, which is cool. We'll see what they do with her, but I'm hoping it's gonna be cool.
And it could be the beginning of the end since they're trying to continue that, because I felt like they did a pretty good job of wrapping that thing up, they should have been exploring maybe a different realm or something, but we'll see. People are gonna die.
I'm sure we'll get a trailer before you know it, just to keep people's hype up.
Oh, by the holidays, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Christmas lights flickering.
And fittingly enough, I saw X-Men Apocalypse for the first time finally last week.
Oh, shit.
Little Redbox rental, and then I saw the news about Fox hitting the reset button on the X-Men franchise because X-Men Apocalypse was a terrible movie. It was awful. I know they're hitting the reset button for other reasons because a lot of those actors' contracts are up now after 3 movies. Jennifer Lawrence, Nicholas Hoult. But they'd be due for big paydays, so they kind of have to hit a reset. But through what now? They'll have 9, if you want to count Deadpool, to 10 movies after Wolverine 3 movie comes out. And they're like X-Men universe, and they've all been a lot of them have been really bad, especially the Wolverine movies. And Bryan Singer, we've talked about, kind of has to go, and they're saying that he's not going to be attached to what they do in the future. So, hooray! We'll see if someone can step in and redo things. It sounds like they're going to revolve everything around Deadpool, and they're going to possibly introduce New Mutants, which is like a teen version of X-Men in the 3rd Deadpool movie, which they're already getting ahead of themselves.
Hell yeah, they are way ahead of themselves.
Hopefully going to base things off that and branch off from that, but I don't know. There's a lot to go into it, and I just wish they'd make a good X-Men movie.
You know what? I'd be okay if we don't get another one. I mean, I've had so many in my lifetime. I'm good. Maybe wait like another 6 years and then do something.
You've seen so much, and the fact that they went back to like the first 3 movies of characters and actors when they brought them back Days of Past, which was a decent movie, but it got too intermingled with Bryan Singer just screwed things up so much.
Everything up, dude.
X-Men, I could not believe how bad X-Men Apocalypse was. It was a bad movie.
Yeah, dude, well, like I was saying, it looked like the original Mortal Kombat when they came out to fly through the sky and fight. Didn't that look crazy? And they all had these like cheap one-on-one battles, too. Like it was just like, oh my gosh, really? Like this person pairs with this person. They both do their super moves, and then it's the next pair of guys, and they do their super moves, and it's the next pair, and it's just like, what am I watching?
And weird Quicksilver daddy issues with Magneto, and
I did like the Quicksilver.
The Quicksilver scene is cool, but his actual story of like why he's been around, is dumb. So yeah, we'll see where things go, but they're definitely banking on Deadpool as to be like the new hub of their X-Men universe and base things off that. I think it's going to get a little messy, as they've shown with X-Men movies, but who knows?
Who doesn't want a Colossus solo movie? Come on.
I like Colossus. My more favorite X-Men comics, but we'll see. That's it for the show this week. Adapted episode 101. Join us for episode 102 next week, as we've got Walking Dead, Supergirl, Gotham, and The Flash is returning. And also have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Star Wars Rebels, Legends of Tomorrow. On the site right now, check out my Doctor Strange review.
It's awesome, dude. Good review, man.
Jason's going to see it tomorrow. Personally, I'll give it a little tease. Not my more favorite Marvel movie. The jokes in it were a little flat, and it took a while for things to really come together. But yeah, check out.
How was it visually though?
Visually, it's spectacular. I'd go for like that's the reason.
People have been saying that it's worth 3D, and that's where a lot of their money was in 3D sales. Like over 50% was like.
I didn't even see it in 3D, but it was still in 2D. It was still great looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can do 3D. All that shit moving around and spinning, I get sick.
You'd have a
barf bag.
Yeah.
I eat my popcorn before the movie even starts. Oh shit! I usually do that anyways.
You guys, go see it. Let us know, and we're gonna do a little talk back on it for the site pretty soon. But in the meantime, check out my review. It's pretty much spoiler free, so I'll give a little insight if you should see it or not, and answer a few questions for you guys.
And if you have seen it, give Tristan some shit about it. Or agree with him.
You can always do that.
The jokes were great.
All right.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Until next week for episode 102, my name's Tristan, Sweener, and Chad. We will catch you next week.
See you guys. Woo.
Ow.
Out like a sprout.